So, hello everybody. Thanks for joining the class. I think we can start, and then if some people join, they can carry on. So, what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna just go a little bit of do a little intro on what are crypto wallets in general and how crypto wallets works, and so a bit of, let's say, like theory before the practice, and then we're gonna see how to set up the hardware wallet you receive. Did you all receive your ledger already?
Yes,
Yeah,
I got mine anyway.
Perfect. Good. Yeah, so at any time you can interrupt me if there is anything that you find you want me to repeat, something that you want me to that you think is not clear. I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat as well while I talk. So yeah, so let's start. So what are crypto wallets? So first of all, there is two types of wallet. A lot of people, say it's custodial wallet, non-custodial wallet. What is this? So when there is a centralized entity like Coinbase, Kraken, Binance that holds your funds or your NFTs or whatever. So those are what is normally called custodial wallets. Why they are called custodial? Because the custody of your assets is not upon yourself, but you entrust a third party like Coinbase, Kraken, or Binance to have custody of your wallet, of your assets. What we're going to talk about today and what is the most native form of crypto wallets are the non-custodial wallets, so like MetaMask, Kukai, Ledger, and all the other ones that probably you've been using so far as well. And why is it non-custodial? Because the wallet itself doesn't have any custody of your assets. The custody of your assets is just upon you. The wallet is just a tool that you use to interact with your crypto account. And I think this one is something that is very important to understand for everybody, because when we think about a wallet in the physical space, we think about normal wallet where we have like our credit card or banknotes, and it's something that we put something inside the wallet or we take it outside the wallet. The reality is that the wallet is just an application that interacts to a crypto account. You can think about your crypto account as a normal account or like a bank account. What is the difference between a crypto account and a general bank account? Is that with a crypto account, and especially like a non-custodial wallet and a non-custodial account, you are the one that has the power to move the funds, to access the funds, to do anything with it without needing a third-party approval. So it's what we say permissionless. This comes with also some responsibility, that is the security of your keys. In crypto, a lot of people say it's not your keys, not your coins. And then we're gonna see a bit more, see this more in depth. So what a wallet does? A wallet itself, like MetaMask, Temple Wallet, Kukai Wallet, Ledger, doesn't do much. It just store your private keys and sign for transactions. There is not much else that a wallet does. So it's basically just an application that interacts with the blockchain and allows you to sign transactions and say, okay, I approve this transaction to be sent. I approve this application to spend my crypto, or I approve this smart contract to mint my NFT or to sell my NFT. So it's just a way to interact with the blockchain. Yes, so what is a crypto account? Is simply an entity that can send transaction and there's a balance. Because of the nature of the blockchain, the blockchain doesn't need to know everything. So what they just need to, what normally stores is just, let's say like all the set of transactions that are known into the blockchain. When you check your crypto account, you can see that straight away your balance. And this is more or less what the blockchain does. Just keeping, it's just a ledger keeping balance of your accounts. So what is your account? Your account is made of two parts. One is your public key, and the other one is your private key. So your public key is what we normally call your Tezos address, your Ethereum address, is what you give to somebody when they need to send you crypto, is what you give to somebody when they need to send you NFT, is what you give to somebody when you say, you can see to this address there is all the NFT that I've created. This one is what we can consider our public key. And this one is what you share with other people to let them know. And the private key is basically like the secret part of the duo, that is what requires to approve things, to sign transactions. So in crypto there is something that is called asymmetric encryption. That means if I give you let's say like something, if I give you a message, basically the only way to decrypt this message is that you have the key to decrypt this message. So when I send an encrypted message, know what is that message, but only you that hold this private key are gonna be able to decrypt this message. So this is what in crypto is called asymmetric encryption. And if you want to dig deep into the concept, there is a lot of videos, and I can send you also some materials. But let's see this one more in practice. So what I did, I've created a Temple account, a Temple wallet, and so then let's say this is just a test wallet, and because I'm gonna share private keys, seed phrase, and all these things. So what I'm gonna do right now is what you normally don't have to do ever, because it's let's say like a security. It's gonna compromise the security of your wallet, but it's just to have an idea of what is what. So in each account, you can see that we have this address for Tezos, and I'm gonna just copy here. So this address is your, you can describe it as your public key. And if I'm gonna reveal my private key, my private key is looking like another a long string of characters. So if somebody has your private key, basically has complete access of your account, complete access to your funds. So there is nothing you can do to stop that person to use your funds or to move your NFT. So the first thing that you need to remember is that the private key is the most important thing that secure your funds, that secure your crypto account, and is what you need to keep most secret. So now this private key is very difficult to remember. It's very difficult to even just write down. So so when let's say like during the Bitcoin improvements, there was a lot of people that were trying to understand, okay, how can we have a better way to store our private keys? Because at the moment they're just a very difficult string of characters that is very difficult to even just type down. It's difficult to write it down. It's difficult to store it. So it's better to have a mnemonic way to store our phrase, our keys. So that's basically in what is called BEP32. They created a standard to create from a mnemonic set of words. So from basically like a dictionary of like English words, they started to basically from this set of words, you're going to be able to recreate through an algorithm your private key. So what's happening is that when you create any crypto account with MetaMask, with Temple, and also with Ledger, what people are going to ask you to save and to write down is this seed phrase. So this seed phrase is basically your master key, is the key of your private keys. And is even more important than your private key because seed phrase opens up a whole set of accounts, whether a private key is only for a specific account. So with this seed phrase, I have, for example, 2 accounts. And you're going to see that even for the account number 2, the seed phrase is the same. So it's very important that the seed phrase and your private keys are stored for you in the most secure way that nobody is able to access this information. And a lot of people, a lot of scam that are going on right now are, leveraging the ignorance of the people of how these things works, and they say, okay, just give me your seed phrase, give me your private keys, and I'm gonna give you this amazing deal, and or insert your seed phrase here, and then they steal their seed phrase or their private keys, and they steal their funds. Basically, there is, when you use wallets like Temple or like MetaMask, these ones are called hot wallets because your keys are stored on your computer. And your computer is, in a way, it's vulnerable to hacker attacks because it's connected to the internet. So everything that is connected to the internet, it's in a way more vulnerable than something that is not connected to the internet. So storing this information on your computer, it's not as safe as storing this information externally from your computer. So at the beginning, one way to basically store private keys and public keys was through paper. So there is what was called paper wallets. And I think I can show you another here as well. So we were just creating through an algorithm the set of private and public keys, printing down with a computer not connected to the internet, and printing this piece of paper, and then, let's say, like, I don't know, resetting this computer, and then going on with their life, and using their private keys and their public keys, just, let's say, like, offlines. This is the what is called the most secure way to create a wallet. It's like a paper wallet. But of course, it's not that handy, So then what's happened is that a lot of people said, okay, we can use technology to create something that communicates with your computer and interact with internet without providing any information to your computer and to internet that is gonna make your account vulnerable. And that's where the hardware wallets that we know, like the Ledger Nano S that you've received, are born. I'm gonna just go through this one to see if I forgot. Yeah, so as I was saying, the interesting things about the seed phrase or mnemonic phrase is that basically, from a set of words, it then converts into like a set of numbers into an alphanumeric string, and is gonna basically create straight away a very big number of private and public keys. So basically, there is thousands of accounts that are already created with your seed phrase. So even now with my Temple wallet, I can create another account. This other account, it's not really created right now. It's basically all these accounts are created when I've created my seed phrase, when actually Temple created the seed phrase for me. And so, let's say like the good thing about this is that you can move and access your crypto funds, your crypto account from many different devices. And you can, so all you need to access your funds, to access your assets, is an application where you can insert your seed phrase and your private keys and access, interact with the blockchain. So that's when a very important thing to understand is that your wallet doesn't hold any of your assets. So it's not that, let's say like if I have a Temple wallet and a Kukai wallet, then, let's say like if I lose my Temple wallet because I uninstall it or something, I'm gonna lose all my funds. There is always a way, if you have your private key or your seed phrase, to have access again to your funds. So a lot of people, they think, okay, I'm gonna use an hardware wallet to store my most valuable NFTs, to store my crypto. But what you actually are doing with your hardware wallet is to create a new account with the private keys that are very hidden and secured by the device, by the hardware device, and transfer, your most valuable assets over there. So then, people, have it's much more difficult for hackers to access your private keys and steal your funds and your assets. So far, is there anything that is unclear so far? Is there anything that you want me to explain a bit better? What do you think about this?
Hi, hey there. I just had one thing that I wanted to bring up in that this all feels pretty clear and sort of familiar to me so far. I've a friend, a NFT artist I know I saw was cleared out this morning, or actually it was 4 days ago, and he's a Temple user, I think, and you can see on the blockchain, on the 17th of April it said reveal public key, and it just looks like he's had, the better part of $1,000 zapped out of his account to QuipUSwap. I mean, it's awful, really, and then immediately washed to various other accounts. And I just wonder, like, what then? What now? Like, that's it, right? It's just tough
Yeah,
shit. You've lost your money, basically.
correct. Yeah, I think very
So
good,
sad.
very good question and very good observation. So, the as we've said, let's say like decentralization and the possibility to have permissionless transfer of electronic assets. It's a great it's great. It has a lot of benefits. You don't have to. Nobody can stop you from doing an action. I don't know. Let's say like is your assets. We've been seeing, in recent even in the recent time, you know, governments seizing assets of people or blocking transaction, or banks, you know, like that holds your funds and they block your account and you cannot go and do groceries or whatever you need to do. So this one, it's one of the benefits of decentralization and having permissionless transactions. But on the other hand, it comes with great responsibility, because nobody is responsible for your funds and for your security except from you. So that means that in the unfortunate case of your friend that got compromised, and it is doesn't need, you know, let's say, like, it's not difficult to be compromised. I mean, a lot of people are compromised. A lot of people are not, you know, let's say, like, is easy to be tricked, because it's a whole new concept. And so, for example, what I did into these, what I did into this example, showing you my private keys and my seed phrase for this class purpose, is basically what it means to be compromised. So if you were like a malicious person, and if you know how to insert my private key into your Temple or Kukai wallet, then you are able to like steal my Tezos that I stored already for this example into here. So basically, this is what you know, when people say is a non-custodial wallet, means that you cannot go to anybody and say, hey, listen, they stole my funds. So now, you know, you've said that you are protecting my funds, but hey, Ana Lucia, yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. I'll restart. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I
Perfect.
hear you.
Yeah. Perfect. Let me just reshare my screen also, because I'm recording as well, so it may be that some applications are fighting against each other. Yeah, if it happens again, just drop me a message again in the chat as you just did, so I can stop and try to re-enter. Yeah, so as I was saying, so when you have, let's say, like non-custodial, when you are basically responsible of your security and your keys, there is nothing that you can do. There is nobody, no third party that said, hey, you know, give me your assets because I'm gonna secure it for you. So there is nobody to go and complain with. So this, you know, is the risk associated with these, you know, let's say, like, with these is one of the, you know, let's say, like, risk associated with decentralization and a permissionless system. That's why a lot of people, what are they saying? They're saying, hey, you know, wait. I don't want this responsibility. I know that I'm a lousy person, and you know, I know that I may be tricked. So I'm happy, you know, for a third party to store my crypto, and I'm happy for Coinbase or Binance or you know, Kraken or the likes to keep my funds and keep safe. So I know that if something happens, then I can go to Binance and say, hey, you know, you said that you were keeping my crypto secure, and now my crypto are gone because you've been hacked. I can sue you, and you need to give me my funds back somehow. So yes, so Dylan, is unfortunate what happened to your friend. And unfortunately, probably, let's say, like, unless the malicious attacker decide, that it was not a good thing to do and decide to give the funds back, is basically there is nobody that you can go and complain about.
Yeah, it's long gone. It's sad. Poor
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. It's sad, but yeah. So it's I think is good for you to understand also how these cold wallet and hot wallet works, and also seed phrase and private keys. So first of all, I want to show you how to add an account with a private key. So, for example, let's say, like, I've created this account and I've put 1 Tezos in here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna post in the chat my private key of the account number 1, and I'm gonna post in the chat the seed phrase of all these accounts. And then I'm gonna show you how you can import it, and then you can see the difference and how you can basically take control, take access of my account. So let me just actually share the private key of the account number 1. And this one you can do it also later, let's say, like, unless some of you is faster than the other one and want to, mint an NFT with this account or transfer the funds or whatever, you can do whatever you want with this account. So this one is the private key of the account 1. And when you want to, using Temple or using Kukai, so what you can do, you just import an account in here. And you see, you can import either a mnemonic seed phrase or you can import a private key. So if you're gonna paste this private key into Temple, you're gonna be able to import my account 1 into your Temple. And basically this one will give you access, undisclosed access. You can do whatever you want. There is nothing I can do to stop it to this account. And then I'm gonna share also this. Hey, Luis.
Hola.
Hello.
Hello. I'm sorry I opened my mic.
No worries. Welcome. It's fine. So yes, and this one is the seed phrase. So the purpose of this is just for you, if you want to do it. I'm gonna just do the seed phrase example. It's just to understand how important it is to keep this one secret, because what I'm doing now is gonna compromise my account. I've got this Temple account with 1 Tezos in account 1 and 0.5 Tezos in account number 2. So if I'm gonna go to Kukai, it's a different wallet. It's a completely different provider. So what I can do, I can import a wallet instead of create a new one, and I can use a recovery phrase. And I can import it. It's gonna just ask me to set up a password. I'm gonna just use a very simple password, so it's easy for me to do the example. Oh, actually the password is too weak. Let me just, I'm gonna put this one actually as a password. Maybe for the example it's gonna be good. Yeah, perfect. Perfect, it's gonna ask me to download this. Perfect, and let's open the wallet. So you see now I have the exact same access to account 1, but and I can do whatever I want with these Tezos. So now with my seed phrase, with my mnemonic phrase, I was able to compromise the temple account and to access the funds. So if I am the same person that I'm doing this to, you know, let's say that I change my laptop and I have to install again temple, it's important for me to have my seed phrase so I can gain access again to my funds. But if somebody else has access to my seed phrase, then it's a big problem because he can go into my account and do whatever he wants. Maybe not buy Tezos, maybe you want to send Tezos to his malicious account, and there is nothing that we can do to stop it. And also you can see that because this person has the seed phrase, he can actually access all the accounts, not only the account number one, but both the accounts. In the different scenario where basically you just import the private key basically is gonna So going back to the difference between the hot wallet and the cold wallets, the problem with hot wallets is that they are connected to the internet and they're very easy to use, but they're more vulnerable because for Temple or MetaMask or which other app to be able to sign the transactions, they need to know your private key, and so they need to save somewhere, even encrypted, even in a very hidden place on your computer. They need to store your private key. Instead, cold wallets like offline wallets or like basically hardware wallets or paper wallets are secure because the private key and your seed phrase are never basically accessible from the internet and are never accessible from your computer, and so is much more safer and is basically a very good way to store. There is, of course, some pro and cons of using hardware wallet. Is you need to have the physical device, you need to connect it, so it's probably not the best for daily transactions or like interact to the app for like small amounts or something, that is much easier to do to keep using hot wallets. But when you want to secure funds or secure assets, then using cold wallets is the way to go. Yeah, so is there anything else that you want to ask? Is there anything else that you want for me to repeat? Did anybody steal my one Tezos? Not yet. I wanted to see if somebody wanted to to access or mint an NFT. You can do whatever you want. It's just for an example. You keep these wallets for you can try to hack my this example. So it's just for fun. Yeah, perfect. So what I'm gonna do now, we are gonna see how you can set up your ledger and how you can basically store your valuable assets. Do you all have downloaded already the Ledger app, the Ledger Live? If you don't, I can give you some time to download it. I'm gonna share also this video in the chat in case some people wants to do it another time. And I think this there is this video from Ledger that is actually really good, that goes through step by step how to set up your ledger. First of all, there is two different ways to set up a wallet. Any wallet is to create a new wallet or is to import an existing wallet. This one is for Temple, for MetaMask, and also for your ledger device. So what we're gonna show, what we're gonna do now is to install a ledger, to set up a ledger with a new wallet. And if somebody, you know, like importing wallets, it's better, you know, to do it for, it's a bit more tricky because, you know, it may be, people, you know, may have a hot wallet and a hardware wallet with the same seed phrase, so then they're not securing much.
The video
Yeah, so
here and go to the address.
I'm gonna actually stop this. So once you, the first thing you have to do is simply to just connect your ledger Nano S and open your app. It's gonna probably ask you a few, like, give you like a few security tips. But basically, you know, all you need to do is to connect your Ledger Nano S to your computer with the provided cable. And what you can do, you can use both these buttons on the top are needed to move across numbers and to move across sections. As soon as you're gonna set it up, if you want to set up a new device, or if you want to import a new device or import another seed phrase. So here, what you want to select is to set up a new device. Just to understand, are you guys doing it right now? So I can like stop and taking some time between steps, or you prefer for me to go through everything and then you want to do it at your own time?
I'm going to do it later because I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if you just do a walkthrough, because I'm planning on setting mine up later, and then for folks maybe watching this, like the recording later, they can also follow through.
Yeah. So I'm happy to do so. So I think it's gonna be much quicker. Also because it takes about 20 to 30 minutes because you have to write down the seed phrase. So first step is to, you decide to set up a new device, and you have to choose a pin. Choosing the pin, it's not extremely it's not the most important security tip that you have to do. The pin is just, let's say, like, is just a number that is memorable for you, and it's just if somebody steal your physical device, is what is protecting your device for being used. You can set up a pin from 4 to 8 digits. Select, let's say, like something. Don't use your date of birth, or try to use like another set of numbers that you can remember and do easily. And you can use both the buttons from the top and from the top to select numbers. And when you select the number that you want to, for example, if you want to select number 4, you just click both the buttons and it's gonna basically enter this number. Once you've created, you set up all your pin, then you just put it on twice. So then you are sure, let's say that the pin you've entered is correct, and the first step is done. So now the Ledger is gonna prompt to you your recovery phrase, your seed word, your seed phrase. This one is the one that is the most important to save, is the most important to store, and is the most important to store on paper. We are using the hardware wallet just because we don't want for the computer, for anybody that is online, to know our seed phrase. That's why is not you don't have to store your recovery phrase in Google Keep app or any password manager or a note on your computer. So that's why in your Nano S box there is probably 2 or 3 recovery papers that are already prepared to, so you can write down the 24 words. And it's very important to write down those words in the exact same order and to make sure that the spell is correct. Take your time to do this. Do a couple of copies. I think you have 2 or 3 pieces of papers into the box. I normally do at least 2 pieces of paper, so I'm sure and I store them into different places. So I'm sure you know that anything that happens, I'm able to recover my assets. Because if you lose your ledger and if you lose your piece of papers, you're not gonna be able to recover any of your assets. So it's very important to store your seed phrase in the most secure way and in also like in different ways. So you have like a backup of a backup. You just go through the 24 words. You write them all down. And after that, he's gonna ask you to confirm the words. So basically, he's gonna go through all your words and what you've written down into your piece of paper and making sure that you have written in the exact order and with the right spelling. Yeah, no problem. So after you've done this, basically your device is ready. And what's happened right now is that your device is set up and ready with your seed phrase and your private keys. So now what you have to do, you have to open your Ledger app, go into the manager, and install the applications. So you can install one application for each blockchain. So for example, it's going to ask you probably a few other security questions just to make sure that you did everything, you stored everything safely. And then what you do into the manager Ledger Live, you can install the application of Tezos and you can install the application of Ethereum, Bitcoin, which other blockchain you want to use. I think Nano S allows you to store 2 or 3 apps, so you can use it simultaneously for 2 or 3 different chains. And the interesting thing is that even for different chains, basically you're gonna have the same seed phrase also for your Ethereum account and your Tezos account, but just your public address is gonna be different. And you can see your public address inside your Ledger Live app. Once you have set this up, what you have to do is you can set up through MetaMask or through Temple your ledger in order to use it into that application. So if you just want to use the ledger to store assets, you basically can simply transfer to the public address that has your ledger. and you can just transfer the assets. You don't have to connect it to your computer. You can just your ledger doesn't need to be connected to your computer to receive assets. You can just do a normal blockchain transaction, as you normally do, and receive the assets. If you want for your ledger to interact with an application, for example, you want to mint from your ledger account, or you want to mint from with the funds that you have over there, you can use Kukai or Temple or MetaMask. They all have this option. And what you do, you just click here, connect ledger, and which type of derivation there is. So for example, for Tezos, there is like TZ1, TZ2, just keep everything as it is, the normal and default account, because ledger is normally like that. And now probably because my ledger is not connected right now, it's not finding it. But what you just do, you just connect, accept this one, and then you're gonna be able to use your ledger account. Is gonna appear here into account 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I can see Dylan typing. Do you need OS drivers for this ledger? How often do they need firmware updates? Good question. So normally firmware updates, I will say monthly. I will probably ask to have a firmware update. OS drivers normally is not needed. Normally, you get more hot wallet updates than hardware updates. The good thing is that the Ledger Live application, for example, in here you can see like you can update it. Unless it's a security problem, you can still use your Ledger without upgrading your firmware. You don't have to just do updates. Probably you're gonna update the app more often than your firmware device. And another interesting things to consider is that if you don't use your ledger because you are using it just to store crypto, as let's say like you'll do for like a saving account, then you don't need to update your ledger, you don't need to update your firmware, you just need to know your public address and send funds over there, or send NFTs in your, I don't know, let's call it vault, saving account, and basically as you will do with any other address, and nobody's gonna be able to touch it.
Sorry, I've just got, well, thanks for that, Phil. I've just got one more question, which is like, once you begin using your ledger with your Tezos wallet, do you then always have to use said ledger? So obviously right now I have a few wallets, I've got a Temple, and a Kukai and stuff. Sometimes I buy NFTs on my phone because I can do that via Kukai. So if I from now on will need a ledger, it could be a good way of stopping me, by buying NFTs from my mobile. It has to use the ledger once you start using it.
Yeah. Good question and good point. So every time you need to use the ledger, you need to be connected to your computer. What can be set up is to use both a hot wallet and a cold wallet. So as for example, let's say that you set up this new ledger with let's say again, it is a completely new address, completely new private keys, and you use it as your storage of funds and assets. Now in here in Temple, you have, for example, account 1, account 2, account 3, and then you're gonna have ledger. So what you can do, you can have your account 1 where you keep some Tezos, some let's say and you use it as a normal hot wallet, and you also have in your Tezos application your ledger here. So you can still use both the hot wallet and the cold wallet, but for approving signatures for the cold wallet, you will need to have it connected. So it's a bit more safe. Does it make sense?
Yes, thank you. I won't ask any more questions.
No,
Sorry.
please do. If there is anything else that comes to mind, please ask Dylan. Something on the note of security, something that is also like another misconception of a lot of people, is that as soon as they move to hardware wallets, they are unhackable, and they are, let's say they can click on anything, so they can sign any transactions. The reality is that if you sign a malicious contract with your hot wallet, or if you sign a malicious contract with your hardware wallet, as soon as you sign, you basically did the same. You are compromised the same. Let me just try to find an example. So for example, if I go on Objectcom, and let's say that there is a object.com that is object.co, that is a fake object, and I connect my wallet, even if it's a hardware wallet, and I sign here, and I want to buy, I want to explore this one, and I want to buy, I don't know, whatever NFT comes up. I don't want to buy like anything, but just to have an idea. So of course I don't have the funds to buy this, but let's say that when you have with your hardware wallet, your Temple wallet is gonna ask you to interact with a malicious contract. So let's say that this one is a fake object.com website, and I want to buy this NFT, but it's a fake website that is gonna just take my funds and not give me any NFT. So if I click confirm with my Ledger wallet account, my funds are gonna be lost anyway, because I gave approval to this. I gave my signature to this, so my funds are compromised anyway. I think a good example on this type of hacks is what's happening with a lot of expensive NFT, like the Bored Apes. If you know about, there was like a problem where a lot of people, Bored Apes holder, they were hacked continuously for some time, and they were targeted from malicious, like people doing like kind of like phishing attack, or like scam swaps, like fake trades, and all these people, they were like super surprised, because they said, oh, but I have my hardware wallet, how come my ape was stolen? This, is because the hardware wallet is not saving you from approving a transaction. So if this person was approving a transaction with their hardware wallet to swap their NFT with a fake Bored Ape, or with something else like a malicious app, then the hardware wallet is not going to protect you. The hardware wallet, the only thing that it does is making sure that your private keys are secured away from your computer. If somebody hack your computer, is not able to obtain your private keys, and let's say like it's a much more secure. So it's also a best practice for security to not interact with application from your ledger account if you have a good amount of assets. Use always a hot wallet for like daily interaction, and use the ledger for storing, or to not interact with DApp, or I don't know, especially like experimental DApps, or trading, or swaps. So clicking on links and all these kind of things is all things that we try to tend to avoid.
I've got a question. So you said, it's just like once you've got your basically it's quite easy to send anything to your ledger. You've got your public address, and that's the only thing you need, and you can just send Tezos or ETH or NFTs to it. But I guess if you want to send it the other way around, you always need to obviously be connected. And yeah, I mean, it's an obvious question, but just to make sure.
Yeah, that's correct. So for example, if you want to let's say you have you use a hot wallet and a cold wallet and a ledger, and let's say that you use your hot wallet to purchase NFT and you have, I don't know, 100 Tezos on there, and then after a while these 100 Tezos are gone because you purchased a lot of NFTs, and now you want a bit more. You say, okay, I want to have a bit more funds available. So then what you will do, you will connect your ledger through the ledger app, the ledger live. You can basically access your portfolio, and you can just do transfer normally. You just go to your account, and you just click on your account, and you're gonna be able to send funds. You just click on a recipient address, and you're gonna be able to send funds to your hot wallet. So now this is the only time where you need to connect your ledger to your computer. But the good thing is that your ledger is interacting with your computer and with your ledger live application, not with some application on the internet that you don't know if it's compromised or not, through clicking like some weird links.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Cheers.
Yeah. So just to wrap it up, what is the advantage of using like a ledger is that your private keys are stored offline. Nobody can access it, and you have much more security into that. Please remember that your private keys in your Temple wallet, Kukai wallet, MetaMask are much more exposed. So if somebody have access from the internet or from physical access to your computer, there is always a way to recover your private keys because they are digitally stored on your file. So it's, please, just try to be safe, and let's say like the most important thing to keep and to keep safe and to keep different backups is your seed phrase. And your seed phrase and your private keys are not to be shared with anybody except you. So anybody that have access to your seed phrase or to your private key is going to be able to have complete control of your funds, and nobody is going to be able to return your funds if you get hacked into this way. So it's very important. Something also that another way to store things. Some people are worried. There is like people that have like big portfolios that are worried to keep things on paper. So what they do, they store things on metal. So there is a few different accessories to keep. For example, this one, you know, is another way to store. Each one of these is one letter, so you can store your 24 word seed phrase on steel instead of paper. This one is another example. So basically you can store your words on steel instead of paper, and this one is another example that Ledger provides. This one as well. So basically what you do, you just basically just set here, you know, all your words. So you see, you just basically just it's called crypto tag. So you just do an incision into that metal, and it's gonna be forever safe. It's like thick titanium, and it's probably the most secure things. yeah, Dylan, you're right. Yes, so I think the thing behind the USB keys is that somehow you can pretend that this one is a USB key instead of a hardware wallet, and I think this one is a plus for security as well. You don't want, you know, that people, you know, finds easily your crypto hardware wallet if you know, people are just, if you are physically hacked. So if people, you know, don't know that Vision is an hardware wallet, it looks just like USB key is a plus. They may not know that you have valuables into that. Yeah, and just to close up, because the only thing that the ledger does is to store your private keys and your seed phrase. Remember that even if you have your the temple account that I've created, for example in here, with this seed phrase, where is it? Here. With this seed phrase, now is a hot wallet, but if I store this same seed phrase into a ledger and I delete my temple account in here, then I'm able to transfer in a way the security of my private keys into a ledger without compromising. Of course, it's not as safe as creating the seed phrase straight away from the ledger, because there is a trace on your computer of this seed phrase, because at some point on your hard drive is what's safe. But yeah, this one is also like an option. There is people that, for example, have you know, there was like I've been helping some artists that had minted already like hundreds of NFTs, and then, you know, they said, okay, now I want to secure my account, but I've created it with MetaMask. So then what you do, you know, you can set up your ledger, importing your MetaMask account, deleting your MetaMask account from your computer, resetting your computer, and then, you know, you magically, in a way, moved thousands of NFTs or hundreds of NFTs into your ledger, because you're not moving anything, you're just moving your seed phrase. But this is a more advanced practice, and something, you know, that we always need to be extra careful to do. Yeah. So unless there is any more question, I think we can close it up. If you need any help into setting this up, if you have any more security question, just ping me. I'll be around for a while in the chat again, or you can also ping me in the next days. Let me know if there is anything that I can do to help. Please let me know.
Yeah, well, I screenshot your recovery phrase, that is now,
Nice.
and I couldn't help it. I mean, please delete it.
No, it's fine, it's fine. You can, this one is, it now became a public seed phrase. Also because I'm gonna keep this, I'm gonna also upload this recording for the other people in the class, and yeah, so I posted it into the into the chat, and yeah, so if people want to do anything with this account, is fine. Actually, there is an artist, Kevin Abosch, that did the same. He did it as a experiment. This is quite interesting. Let me see if I can find it from your website. Maybe it was Kevin Abosch. This is a bank.
I guess I can send an NFT to that address, right?
You can.
Something weird. That's cool.
You can also mint an NFT from that account. You can do so. This is actually Kevin Abosch. What he did, he shared his private key, and he said, okay, let's say like people can do whatever they want. And this one was an Ethereum. I'm not really sure. Let me just see. I just need to remember the password of this account. It is another testing account. I think it's interesting because you can see that I'm going to import this private key of Kevin Abosch, and you see that this one is this Kevin Abosch account, and if we go on Etherscan and we check for, you can see that has been used for many things. People have been sending money in, people have been sending out money, people at some point have been minting as well, have been, I think they've been using some DeFi protocol as well. Yeah, so I think people have been sending in SOS token. So yeah, yeah, was an experiment from Kevin Abosch. He just did the same. He basically just public, like put out in the internet his private key, and then by making the private key a blockchain wallet public and declaring it a bank open to anyone, so then people started doing the thing. So yeah, so you can do the same with that public key and private key and mint whatever you want, or transfer funds, or I don't know, try to swap and do whatever you want. Perfect. Thanks a lot for guys, and as I said, if you have anything else that you want to ask, just ping me. Have a lovely day. Take care.
Thank you, Fino. It was amazing.
Bye-bye.
A great day.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you.